One thing about me is when I was young, I had a spot on my boob that looked like a lump. So I went to the doctor so we could discuss what the heck this thing was that was on my boob. The dermatologist told me that it looked fine. So I was relieved that I didn't have cancer. Then a couple years later, and it looks a bit different. So I went somewhere else, but they acted indifferent. They said, this looks fine, and it's probably benign. And I trusted their expertise because I was young. Skip a few years later, and it looked kind of bigger. So I went to the gyno, so they could consider that maybe this thing wasn't actually safe. The gyno said it's fine, and I should go home. So I trusted them and didn't think more about it. A few years later, and it seems to have grown, so I went somewhere else for another look. They said, this looks fine, but I wasn't convinced, so I looked up skin cancer pics in a book. There were only white people in these pictures somehow, so my skin looked different from their skin. Did my skin look different because I am black, or did my skin look different because I am fine? There was no way to know, so I trusted the doctor. The lump grew over time and became kind of thick. So like, do I have cancer or am I not sick? It became more sensitive on the surface. So I Googled again, but nothing similar surfaced. But at this point, it's been like 8 whole years. So I saw a different doctor to get it checked. But once again, they start to object. Just some more, it looks fine and it's probably benign. But I was like, I don't care how it looks to you. I demand you get this lump checked out in my boob. So they were like, fine. What do you want? I want a shaved biopsy so I don't have to wait for a real autopsy to find out I had cancer. So they start to behave and gave me the shave. The results came back and said it was sus. So it was worth the fuss of getting it checked. So I was advised to get it excised because it seems like it was probably cancer, but they had to test more to get a full answer. So they cut a huge chunk out of my boob. The process kinda hurt, but no one prepared me for the pain that comes after the procedure. It was literally the worst pain of my life, and they only prescribed me some Tylenol. I had to beg and beg through agonizing pain for the man to entertain this crazy idea that if you cut a huge chunk out of my boob, that the level of pain would be insane. Eventually, he gave me the bare minimum. Then I had to wait for results from the test to see if I was right about the cancer in my breast. 1 month later, still no call in my cell. So I called them myself, begging for an answer. They were like, oh yeah, we tested your cells. Turns out you had cancer.